I just wanted to get the vibes going on. Hey, everybody, what's up? This is the Lab Podcast Series. We are back again. So, it's a great day. Happy, well, I don't want to time that, actually. I don't want to put it on the date real quick. So, for you guys who are just joining us, who does not know about the Lab Podcast, every so often I bring in a few people that are near and dear to my heart, that are just killing it in the industry, and we bring in different ideas, different types of walks of life. Crazy part about it is that this is our second episode, and I'm thinking that not everybody knows each other, but everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
So I would like to go around the room right now to introduce, because everybody knows how it goes. Introduce everybody. Please tell your name, your craft, what are you into, and just a little bit about yourself. To my left.
What's going on? My name is Toro Thomas from Miami, Florida. I have my own fitness business, also apparel line, and then, of course, I have my own job as well. And, I think that's basically it right now, right?
Yeah. Well, everyone, my name is Cendino Teme. I'm a photographer that's based down here in South Florida. Like most of my work comes from traveling. And just got like a person that's passionate about life and traveling, visuals, and like things of that sort.
Hey y'all, what's going on? This is Justin.
Talking to the mic.
This is Justin
There we go.
Better.
from Dade County 305, based in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'm a photographer, you know what I'm saying? And JWR Photography in the building, you know. That's about it.
So, 2019, pretty much around the corner. What is everybody looking forward to in 2019? Who wants to start it off?
2019.
Now I once now.
Okay.
I'll say 2019, I just want everybody to be great. Like, everybody just be great in what you do. Be great, be honest, be truthful to who you are and what you do. And, and I quote, and I'm not trying to sound like I'm one side or anything, but I'm going to quote, Issa Rae. I'm just going to root for everybody black. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Black
rooting for everybody
excellence
black.
all
You know what
day.
I'm saying? Because that's what I want to see. Everybody in 2019 be great. Do whatever it is that you do, be great. That's all. And
Dino?
be consistent.
Dino?
I think with like 2019, personally, I want to push like the boundaries, because I do like a lot. So like sometimes, although like to the outside person, like it seems like I'm doing like a ton, I can feel like a little bit, almost like I'm in like quicksand. Although like I'm doing a lot, I'm just so used to it. So I just want to be able to like push my extremes, to be able to push into something else, like into areas that are a little bit less comfortable, like for myself.
Okay.
In order for me to be able to take things to like the next level, whether it be visually, family wise, like everything. Just try to end up in 19 in a place of not being comfortable, because I think like 18 was a year like where I was able to coast a little bit more, kind of do my own thing. I took it almost like a personal year, like for me. But like with like 19, like I definitely want to be able to push beyond my level of comfort.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Mr. Toro.
I know for myself, just to piggyback off what Cendino was talking about, I just want to grow. Like, that's the biggest thing. I want to grow, and I want to be able to use my talents and really just expound and just go from there. Like, I'm down in Houston, Texas, so like there's so much opportunity down there. And I mean, in the rest of the world too as well, there's more opportunity out there too also. But like down in Houston, I think I really need to focus on 2019, just expounding on my talents and my abilities. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, I mean, just like Jay was saying, like, I want to see people be great, be prosperous, and go from there too as well. Like, people have a whole bunch of talent and they just don't know how to use it or just don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. I think what's really great about when we're heading into 2019, I think we're definitely leaving behind the whole hate syndrome. I feel like everybody's kind of like, definitely going in the bandwagon of like, really supporting each other, really making sure that, like everybody's just behind pretty much everybody into pretty much what they do. I'm looking forward to not only to have a support system of my own, but also support people who I love and who I definitely care about. And just, just going all in on different people. Another thing too is I'm looking to travel more. I think that's what I really want to do. Like, you know, I just got a place in Atlanta. I'm going to be in Atlanta a lot more. Me and my guy Toro, we're going to be doing a lot of things in 2019 in Houston. I have never been to LA, Los Angeles, and the type of person I am, that is a atrocity.
Yeah, you'll love
So
Los
I'm
Angeles.
definitely got to go pretty much over there.
Yeah, LA.
One question I have pretty much for everybody. So, Toro, everybody pretty much here is from Miami, right? Are you
Yeah.
from Miami? Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I'm
I mean,
from
I'm
there,
originally
yeah.
from New York, but I've been here since 2009, so I'm
P.
pretty
Ryan,
much...
baby.
Yeah.
P. Ryan. P. Ryan, baby.
So I'm pretty much a Floridian as now. But we have two people here that don't live in Miami, that live in Atlanta, and you also live in Houston. Have you lived anywhere, Dino?
Like I spent some time over like in LA.
Okay.
A little bit of time, like all the traveling. I was spending maybe like 3 months over there, like, at a time. That type of stuff.
So I asked you guys this, and let me know if I'm kind of bugging over here. What's wrong with Miami?
As far as
What? I felt some bones shatter just now.
what's wrong with Miami?
What is wrong with Miami? I see a lot of people come in here, right? Like, for instance, like for me, and then immediately like, yo, I'm out of here. Or a lot of people who pretty much have lived here that they just pretty much move out. And everybody raves about Miami, that they love it, but at the same time, they hate it. So what is wrong with Miami?
I think well, first and foremost, I was born and raised here. I don't think anything's wrong with Miami per se. But I think for I guess I would say people of color, Miami is a place where people can thrive and people can also not build as much.
Okay.
But I just think that when there's an influx or there's a high I guess population of African Americans, people of color who are thriving in different cities, and that's where they're going to go. But Miami is continuously growing, and I just think.
Okay, can I help you out real quick?
Okay.
Like, okay, you know how some people, like a good amount of people, they want to do maybe like, acting, and they want to do like, like video.
Yeah.
They go to LA.
Okay.
You remember we were talking about a couple of days ago how everybody just collabs in LA when they want to, hey, you want to do a shoot? Everybody pretty much collabs.
Absolutely.
Everybody that feels like, ATL is like the Black Mecca, and they just go over there. So that's kind of like my question. I'm like, if people want to basically strive and do things, why can't we do it here? Because I've been hearing everybody saying that they're going to go to this place and do that, and go to that place or to that residence or whatever to do what they want to do. So I'm asking, okay, like, what's wrong with here? What's wrong with doing it here? So not necessarily what's wrong with Miami, but why people feel like they have to go somewhere else rather than just creating their own essence here.
Are the platforms provided for people?
So why people can't provide the platforms here? Like, that's what I'm saying. So for instance, like how I started this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't wait for people to be like, hey, I want to do it and try to collab or try to I started it. So why people cannot have that same mentality here?
I think it's I think like the thing about Miami, like when it comes to things that are a little bit more on the creative side or a little bit more cultural, like Miami is a city that has a lot of culture, but it doesn't have its own thing. And then like down here, like it's a very transient like city. I would like compare it to going to school, like in a college town, like per se, maybe something like Tallahassee, where you're really engulfed. In all the other cities, like in New York, people are engulfed in what they do. Like they do it full time. Like that's what they do. Los Angeles, it's the same thing. Like it's a whole bunch of people that are going at it full time, and they're engulfed in their craft. They're engulfed in whatever culture it is. And like the city itself has its own culture, like within like whatever creative realm or like whatever realm it is. And like Miami is a city where a lot of things come through here, but nothing is based down here.
And that's my problem with Miami.
Yeah.
Like, that's like my gripe, I guess, with the people here in Miami. So, Jay, I feel like you have something to say. Go ahead.
I mean, I totally agree with what Dino just said. It's like there's no base here for Miami in general. You know what I'm saying? Like people go to Atlanta, people go to Houston, or the people go to LA is because they want to find those opportunities where they can thrive and that actually make a difference. Here it's just that you can't really make the difference that you feel like you want to make because of just the atmosphere or just the area in which Miami is, because
Do you think people in Miami are very selfish?
selfish is a good term to say, but a bad term to say.
Okay, so what term should we describe people that are here? They're just looking out for themselves, or they're not really trustworthy, basically.
That's still selfish, though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I don't know like if it's necessarily a thing of being selfish versus not really being kind of like part of like that creative process, because some of like the creative process is giving and like building, you know, and like down here, like you'll have like a few folks like they don't understand. Like say for instance, like if I'm in Los Angeles, right?
Okay.
Like Los Angeles, like you'll put together some random shoot, and like you'll have like a makeup artist that has worked with top tier people, but still willing
To collab and not really-
collab and like come together and like put things together, like just for whether it be like a creative itch or you know like or for the culture or for self whatever, or just to still be able to crank out things and you know what I'm saying, like crank out different product material.
Do people because you guys have been in LA and I haven't, so
Yeah.
you guys can answer this question for me. Do people in LA, they just see the bigger picture way faster than people here do? Because I feel like if that was here and it was a person that like a makeup artist that has like 500,000 followers and they were just you know, they work with all like the big celebs.
Yeah.
I feel like here they'd be like, yo, if I ain't getting freaking paid,
I
F you.
ain't doing it. Yeah.
I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
So like,
I think
why do they have the different mentality over there than versus here?
I think like whenever you go to like these like different cities, like there's a lot more people that are doing it like full time, so they understand how important it is to bang on your craft no
Very
matter
true.
what you do. You know, so like that's like one of like the huge pieces as well. And also, you know, like when you're in LA, like there's a lot of dope ass people everywhere. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people doing your thing that are dope, and you can, you know, like the Atlantic like can have some of that. Like down here, it has some of that as well. But like over there, like it's just like overall, you know, like everywhere, like people are doing dope things. So you want to kind of stay up on it, and then like it's part of. It's not something that you're doing outside of your thing. It's a part of the culture there. Is to create, to like collabo, is to make something dope. You know what I'm saying? And then like you'll make the money on it, of course, because you want to get paid like from your craft.
I got you.
But it's through, you know, banging on it. That's how you get your chips out of there.
Mr. Toro, you're a little bit too quiet over here, so I will need you.
I just wanted them to kind of talk real quick because I know for myself, yesterday I know that we had a couple of discussions and stuff like that. So I know me personally, just being from Miami, one, the biggest thing is that Miami is a very aggressive city. And you go to any other, you go to other
Even
cities.
the bums are aggressive, bro.
You go to other cities and they're not as aggressive as us. Like there's a couple factors that lead into it. It's a more of a culture thing, tradition. You go to these other cities, you have a lot of people that come in from out of town that basically take over those cities. Too as well. So like Cendino, what he was talking about, like, you know, you go to other cities, you make opportunities for yourself. Well, other people understand the opportunities and the different backgrounds from where they come from. So they want to see other people succeed and go from there. Whereas you have people here in Miami, you know, you have a lot of people, like the culture is so diverse that, you know, they're used to tradition and just working hard on their own. And their families are working on their own to where they don't believe in us instead of, you know, they believe in that individual setting of, hey, you know, I should do this, I should do that just for my family instead of collabing with other people. Another big factor, you know, going out to LA was like an eye opener for me. And I'm pretty sure it was an eye opener for you, Cendino, going out there and you see all the talent out there and the people out there. You don't have to pay somebody to do something that you love to do. Like the people will go out there and film you probably for free, but like, you know, if you do a collab with them later on, like, of course, like you'll talk about dividends from there and everything else, but like you're doing something that you truly love. When you're coming down here to Miami, and especially like if you're from here, all you think is the money right off bat. You're like, all right, I need this because I need to put gas in my car. My family needs this, and that. Like, there's so much to say, hey, you know, like the opportunity isn't there because, you know, we are selfish to a certain extent. And then at the same time, like, you know, our aggressive mentality kind of oversees that to where like we don't believe in we as a team and just individuals just in point blank.
So that was actually a really good point that you had. I definitely want to segue into this. You good, bro?
Yeah, I just hit my nose in
It's
the
a pretty
mic.
good. It's a pretty good. How you were just pretty much covering the art and the importance of collabing. Wow, to you guys, why is collabing so important?
Oh,
So I know for me personally, like collaboration, right? So say for instance, so you have two different photographers right here, two different styles. They can learn from each other any way possible, right? So I'm a trainer. I have different facets and different ideas of how to train somebody. So like if you train somebody a certain type of way, that might not be good for the next person coming around, right? So you might be more of a visual learner, like I have to actually show you, while another person might be more auditory, right?
Very true.
And so like if I tell them the workout, they're like, oh yeah, you know, I could do that easily. I got it mentally in my head. Whereas somebody else, you have to actually show them. Other people, you have to kind of baby them and be like, hey, look, you got to do it like this, kind of give them that little edge push and go from there. Like everybody's a little bit different. So when you collab with somebody, you learn from somebody. And when you learn from somebody, it shouldn't fall on deaf man's ears at all. So when you learn something from somebody, you don't take their style. You give them the credit, and after you give them the credit, basically you learn a little bit from them, and then like you kind of make it your style little by little, but you still give that person the credit because they deserve that, because that's their style. So the importance of the collab is basically learning from another person or another individual and learning how to enhance it at the same time.
So for me, you know, I definitely see not only the importance of collabing as very, you know, paramount, but also pretty much like what you do with that collab. Like for instance, like how Charlamagne the God says, you know, like you should always see opportunity, especially if it doesn't have a price tag attached to it. So, you know, one of my guys here, Jordan, that's helping me out right here. I mean, he came to me about a week ago. He was like, hey, listen, you know, like I know like you got a lot of things going on here. I definitely want to like be with you. I definitely want to grow with you. And it's crazy today, right? Today, yo, this is the freaking like amazing. He's just here basically collabing. You know, obviously he's not really getting like paid or whatever, but him basically just putting himself out there has gotten you a job, right?
And he's gaining that experience.
And he's gaining that experience, and that's basically setting himself up basically pretty much for the future. And people, I guess for people to collab and all that, people just need to get out their fucking feelings. Like real talk, like for real, they need to get out of their feelings, and they need to just basically be like, hey, listen, you know what? I definitely see the foresight. I definitely see that this is definitely going to help me out at the long run.
Yeah,
depending on
yeah.
pretty much what you do with it. So, do you know?
but what's the difference between collabing with somebody than using somebody?
I mean,
I think that's
Talk about
intentions.
it. Well,
I mean, yeah. It,
using somebody to me is basically just using them without giving them anything in return.
Okay.
And basically for your own self, you know what I'm saying? For your own self need.
Okay.
Like for me, you know, I do not mind collabing because I don't expect anything in return at the end of the day.
Okay.
So for me, basically to have that mentality, I am openly and initially okay with not getting anything in return and basically helping people out. But that's also a different mentality that you need to have because not everybody's like that, especially here in Miami. Everybody's want to take and not give. You know what I'm saying?
whenever I think about like collaboration, I think about it like from a point of ironing, like iron sharpening iron.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like whenever like you're like collabing, whenever I think about it, it's not necessarily. You know, like down here, like you'll have like, especially as a photographer, like you'll have some folks like reach out to you, hey man, like want to like collab, but really, you know, like this idea like that we're like trying to put together really isn't going to do anything for me, like it ain't going to be like that,
or
you know what I'm saying, or they're not really having.
That's where I'm going with it.
Okay,
That's where I'm going.
I got you, Jay.
Yeah, so I think like there's like a difference between between like collaboration and then working with somebody like with their idea, like where you can kind of give like sometimes, because I've done that like before, where like somebody may want to do something, I'm like, all right, cool, let's go out like and shoot that, then I can figure out how to make it for myself, but work like for myself as well. But a collaboration, that's when you have I don't know, like the dope stylist, and then like there's a creative director, and then I'm the photographer, and then there's a dope like makeup artist, and all of us come together and draw up whatever storyboard or whatever it is, or it doesn't even have to go that deep, but you have people that are experts at their crafts, and they're putting like their best foot forward, just for the general benefit of the crew of whoever's like working on it. So like the makeup artist, I have something like the photographer, of course, like I understand fashion, but I'm not a stylist. I am. I can look at a makeup job and be like, you know what I'm saying? But I can't. I
Talk
can't.
about it.
I can't.
I'm the same way, bro.
I can't like
way.
draw it up. So like it would be most advantageous, like for myself, to allow the makeup artist, which I find it work pleasing, to be dope. Hey, like, what's your expert opinion on this? And then you bring that expertise to it. Clothing. I try to do my thing on photography. Like we think the whole idea straight through, and that's more of a collaboration, because then everyone is able to seed into it and get something from that seeding. Yeah.
Got you.
Jay, you want to?
I think collaborations are great. I think they are. It just it just depends on, you have to make sure that everybody's on one accord.
Yeah.
If a makeup artist comes to me and says, "Hey, I would love to collab with you," and we have an idea, something so forth. For me, I actually study, who the people I'm about to collab with.
Amen. Amen.
Because I want to make sure that if I'm going to use my time efficiently, that we all use our time efficiently, that we all are on the same page. So if I'm not.
No
for
shade.
example,
We know.
For example,
Yeah, right.
I've actually worked. I did a collaboration with, a stylist and a makeup artist, and
Numerous amount of times. We're just going to say it
plenty
like
times.
that. Yeah. Mhm.
But there was one time where I actually had to I had to stop the shoot.
Of course.
And because we had multiple models, but the makeup artist, and I'm pretty sure you probably, if working with, not saying working with Dino, but with different shoots, I noticed the makeup artist didn't actually, clean or change the brushes as she went on to different.
She didn't know what the hell she was doing.
She was YouTube certified.
Oh.
I didn't. She worked.
Yo, listen, collabs be exposing people, man.
And so when I saw her take like the brushes and work with and put on one girl and put on the next girl, I'm like, yo, you didn't clean that.
Goodness.
Like, I know I'm a photographer, but I know one thing's for sure is like sanitation is like,
it's huge.
Yeah.
And so like in that type of situation, you're in my place, you're in my studio, you're about to give, for all I know, you may give all these girls herpes, because you're just spreading makeup.
Yeah, no, of course.
Like, so for me, it's like you have to recognize that if a stylist or a makeup artist or anybody that comes and wants to collab with you, that they actually match, what you're doing and how you could benefit them. And even if somebody who's actually they're coming up, but their work is good, and you see that they're doing good, then you can look at them and say, "Hey, well, I recognize that you're doing good. You're doing great. I love your work.
Mm-hmm.
We can work together, so I can give you some pointers, and you can help me give me some pointers, and vice versa." So I think collaborations are effective, but you can't just collab with anybody.
I got you.
You just can't, because it may benefit you and it may not benefit you.
To piggyback on what they're talking about, like I completely agree. Another big part of it, I think people have to be willing to, one, communicate. That's not going to be the first thing, but one, to just like surrender themselves to like, hey, like I'm here willing to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't go in there boastful, like, hey, I know this, I know that, this and that. Like, you have to be able to learn and just listen. Yeah, like. Yeah. That's the biggest thing, because like once you go in there and like say for instance cause and effect, right? You go in there, you try to tell somebody and correct somebody about a paintbrush and they don't know the effect of it, then basically like they feel offended and they don't know why. But if you sit there and you explain to them, hey, you just use this makeup brush for this and that person, like, do you know what like the results are for that? Like you could basically get somebody else sick.
Yeah.
Like
You know what I'm
this
saying?
this is what can happen. Boom, you show them examples. And then when they see that, they're like, God dang.
And they can definitely learn from it, basically. Well, like I said before,
Exactly.
getting out of their feelings, basically, just always worrying
Yeah.
about, the bigger picture and just the overall umbrella of what you guys doing. Not pretty much for yourself. Yeah. Like, now we talking about, I'm a makeup artist. I've been doing it. I'm YouTube certified. You can't tell me shit. Like, no. Like, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
It's all about humility. Humility and
that's big.
being able to be receptive of one's thoughts, be
Very true.
receptive of one's criticisms. Like I look at other photographers and I look at their work and I save their work and I use that as inspiration. And for example, I mean, this guy sitting next to me, he took a picture of this woman like 5 or 6 years ago that I still have saved in my phone. That I said, I want my shit to look like that.
It's hilarious.
Okay?
He set the standard.
He set the standard. I
There
said
you
that.
go.
And I said, I want it to look like that. But first, I got to find a bad bitch like that.
That's hilarious.
We're going to edit that. No, we're
You
not
know what
gonna
I'm saying? But I studied that photograph and I studied the lighting. I studied the actual camera settings he had. I studied all of that just to make sure that when I did another beat shot like that, I wanted to make sure that it didn't look exactly like his, but I use it as inspiration.
Yeah, you find inspiration from it. Yeah.
So, all right. So, I think the two main key words and terms that we definitely had with this conversation is humility, communication, and just obviously just listen to each other, which kind of goes into my next topic right now. We're about to take a whole freaking U-turn right now, so let's do it.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, sir.
Jesus.
Entrepreneurship and relationships.
Oh, God.
You about to pass out, bro? What's up, man? You good?
What?
All right.
Can I get a refill?
What are we doing? You get a refill? It's
Can I get a
fine.
refill?
You want a refill?
I mean,
on IG
uh,
Live
Hey,
right
Jordan,
now.
can
Okay, hold on.
can you go in here, side, please? And,
Oh, Lord. Actually, the Captain Morgan's over there.
Captain Mark, can you go over there?
Over there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm drinking my C4 cellular.
Yeah. Cellular.
Cellular.
Shout out to Cellular. Listen, I love you guys. So
And the
Wait, no,
people watching live, my phone's charging, so
Dang it.
I
I need
can't
that.
really talk to y'all.
I need that charger afterwards, if you don't mind. Like my
Yeah, bro.
phone's on 20. I don't know what you're at right now, but like
I think
whenever
I'm
you
at
get
like 21%, bro.
Right here.
Oh yeah, just give
without
me
me with that one extra.
Captain
yeah.
Morgan's.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's do that. Try not
Just
to
a
say
little
the
razzle.
name.
I mean,
Try not to say the name. No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing.
Captain
Yeah, y'all gonna have to fucking pour up for this shit. Watch. Okay, keep going.
Captain Daquan. Right.
Captain Daquan.
Like Captain Daquan. Just let me just.
Meanwhile, I'm over here drinking
All right,
energy
so
drink.
as you guys are pretty much pouring your life away, what
That's good,
what are the difficulties and transgressions that you guys have with relationships of any kind? I mean, we can definitely talk about intimate relationships we need to, and being an entrepreneur / freelancer. And I know you just jumping out your fucking seat right now, talking about this. Go ahead, Toro.
All right, so I've been traveling since I was 18, 19, roughly around there, right? So being in a relationship is very tough because, like, one, people don't understand like where you come from and like how like your hustle, your grind, like what you're trying to do later on in life. Like, I do the things that I do because one, I like to support my family, and then two, I want to chase my passion. So, like, if I find somebody that's going to be there, that's going to hold me down during that time or whatever like that, when I have zero in my bank account or if I have $1 million in my bank account, I mean, that's who I'm looking for. But if she's not willing to support me, my goals, my dreams, I can't necessarily say that I'm going to be there.
Yeah, I think like with the being a like same thing. I've been doing this like full time since like 2010, and I only count 2010 because that's when I first started making money. So it's like prior like to that, and like the same thing, like a lot of traveling. And one thing about like the entrepreneur realm, it can be a very isolating thing.
It's lonely at the top at the end of the day. And it's a lonely journey. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it can be. It can be a very isolating like journey, just depending on where you're at. And I think that's why I like Los Angeles like so much, because I have people to hang out with like during the day. you know what I'm saying, during the week and things of that sort. And then there's a lot of people doing it, so you're not doing it like alone. And as far as like being able to sustain any type of relationship, man, like not just intimate relationships as far as like, you know, like some type of like significant other or things of that sort, but just in general, like with my photography, I was doing a lot of traveling, like a lot of like destination weddings and things of that sort. So I would even have friends that would be like, hey, like we just assumed that you weren't here. You know what I'm saying? Or like you were doing something else. And I'm like, yo, like even though like you think I'm not here, just include me like in like the text messages, you know what I'm saying? Like just send me something, you know what I'm saying? Because if not, then even like my small circle of individuals that I have just on a friendship level, you know, like that can feel distance like as well, because everyone starts to like separate like themselves from you because you're doing something that's literally you're literally cutting your own path. You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't a trail like that you're making, well, like you're making the trail versus walking the trail. You know what I'm saying? So when you're making like the trail, like there's no people on there. You're kind of like, like like a general like direction in which you want to go. But you 9 times out of 10, you're gonna have a lot of days of being solo with that, unless you have like creative circle. And like down here, like when I first moved back down here, I was fortunate enough to run into like a group of creatives, and we had this thing that was called the Creative Hostel, where it was just where like one of my boys had a studio apartment like on the beach, and it was literally like 3 photographers, a couple stylists, a blogger here, there, and every single day like we would get up like with each other and bang on our craft day in, day out. And I used to get all the constructive criticism, not in the nicest like deliveries, but it helped me like grow. But as far as like the relationship and then on the intimate side, like it's a whole nother beast. I remember like this one girl, when I was trying to, like, I started to realize how extreme, like, my lifestyle is. And I was like, well, you know what? I need to try a little bit harder just to be normal. You know what I'm saying? To like, meet, like, a normal standard of what somebody would.
But why?
Just because of the expectations of how society's set up for relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to kind of be very present, although, like, I'm rarely here. You know what I'm saying? So when I am here, you know what I'm saying? Like I have to do so much just to reach a baseline of what a significant other that's not in the realm of what I do.
Of course.
Can kind of understand or kind of be fair to them. If not, then, like, we can grind all day. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like we can bang on our craft all freaking day, and that's just what it would be, But you gotta, be able to find like a compromises, I think, even as a creative and the hustler and the grinder.
Of course.
To be fair to somebody else, unless they kind of start to understand. But you still have to make your sacrifices, though.
Jay?
Being an entrepreneur and self-employed, having a business, and like you said, like honestly, the relationships that I have is my creative circle. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what it comes down to. I'm single as fuck.
Like a motherfucker.
So hard.
I'm single as fuck, and that's just what it is. Like when you get so consumed with your craft and what you love and what you do, you surround yourself with people who support it and appreciate it and understand what you're doing. So those are the main people that you want to surround yourself with as you get older. Like if the people around you don't elevate you, then what's the purpose of them being around you? You know what I'm saying?
And it's almost like a scary thing to like want to allow somebody to like come in close. I'm talking about like a significant other, and then being afraid of like they're not going to understand what the hell I am or what I'm doing or like what it is, no matter how much I try to explain it, like they're not going to get it just because of how engulfing it is.
So, okay, all right. So
it is. And as he says that, I'm not going to lie to you. One time I was dating this girl, and she could not understand why the hell I'm getting text messages at 11 o'clock at night, emails at 11:30.
My dude.
And I'm like, these are my clients. Like sometimes they'll be like, hey, I need to shoot at like tomorrow at 9 a.m. Can you do it? And I'm not going to turn down money.
Yeah, of course.
I got to keep my lights on.
Yeah,
so,
and also not turning down opportunity as well
opportunity
too.
as well, because the thing is with the photography world, the moment that you turn down something. Although they may want to go with you and they want to work with you, if you say, "Oh, I'm not available," they got like 5 other people there. They're ready to book. So you want to make sure you're ready to get that. So like it's one of those instances where you don't understand. Like, especially when I lived in Miami, I'll never forget. I got a freaking message to do a photo shoot at 12:30 in the morning. Can be at the studio at 2, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'm there.
Yeah.
You know.
But sometimes you're like your significant other, the person who you're basically like trying to date or whatever, does not understand that. And another thing too is that, you know, what people overall do not understand about the entrepreneurial life is that you trade in your 9 to 5 for your 24/7.
Yeah, you really do.
Exactly. But the thing is, I have a 9 to 5 still.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like it's just nonstop.
So
work.
you know best of both worlds basically.
Yeah.
And it pretty much comes to that. So question, so when you guys are trying to find your significant other, what are you looking for? Are you looking for a person who is just as you, that is an entrepreneur, or are you looking for a person that has a 9 to 5 that is a little bit more stable than you guys, that's pretty much more grounded? Like I'm kind of like, for me, there's sometimes I definitely do want a person, a lady who is, you know, that definitely has a 9 to 5, honestly, that is like stable. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I'm up in the clouds 24/7. I'm like, wee, wee, wee. You know what I'm saying? And then like when I come home to my lady, she brings me that stability and that security basically. So it's like, I don't know if I do want like another person who is an entrepreneur. Maybe, I mean, it's like, it's pros and cons to both of them, but I wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
So I guess my future wife, or whatever she's going to do, like, as long as she's ambitious and she has goals to succeed and be like successful just later on in life, like she has to have like that mentality, like the mentality of having like certain platforms that she has to accomplish, right? So like, boom, she's entry level, boom, like, you know, when it's step higher. Yeah. So like me personally, like I know with me, like it took me a long time to, you know, gain access into the corporate America work lifestyle and going from there, and then like just climbing the ladder. So I want her to have just as much as ambition as I do to climb the ladder too as well.
Of course.
And I think everything else will fall in from there. Because like if you look for looks, if you look for this, if you look for that,
all
like,
that just fades away after a while.
like once you get older, none of that's gonna matter at all. Y'all might look good together, but y'all still gonna be old. Y'all still gonna be wrinkly. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you're both aspiring to be greater each and every day, and that's what I look for, like for myself, like to just get better each and every day, like she gonna be the one. Like that's it. Like that's all I'm looking for.
I got you. Dino?
Yeah, I agree. I think like with like a significant other, I don't know. Like I want somebody, even if they have like a like traditional job, I don't want them to superimpose those traditional expectations like on me, like, you know what I'm saying, like just because sometimes like some folks, like they can get so caught up in the supposed tos, and I'm not saying like that you don't want to, you know, have like stability or things of that sort. Like everyone wants that. I don't care how much of a dreamer you want. Like
Very
you want to be able to keep a roof on top of your head, and like be able to handle like your bare like necessities. But I also don't want like someone like that's so stringent as to where they, because like I don't know like what my path is. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have a like rubric as far as like what am I doing and like where I'm moving. You know what I'm saying? I like I mentioned, like a Leo.
Oh, you're Leo. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a Leo. August 5th.
July 25th. Leo's in the building.
We're here. Yeah. So like, yeah, man, like I wouldn't mind like somebody, you know, like that's like a significant other. And but I've also said like the same thing. I wouldn't want to necessarily date myself, because like that'll be like a handful of two of me's, like you know, like bouncing around at each other.
Yeah, definitely.
Like things of that. So, but I wouldn't mind someone that can be of the same realm, but we can balance each other out like in different like aspects. Like say for instance, like if I date somebody and they want to do anything entrepreneur wise, I'm
great.
like, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to take on whatever project they're taking on as if it's mine. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like my mentality. Like I dated this girl once, like if she was doing fashion, and like what I had to realize with her was not everyone can go Cendino speed. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a full throttle, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like it's around that corner, I'll deal with it like once it get there, but we about to hit this gas.
Of course.
You know,
of course,
and
definitely.
like with her, like she's a little bit more of a controlled person. Like I just want to do this amount. And I'm like, nah, you know, like I know this person here, I'm gonna hit up this person, like we're gonna get these white girls over here, we're gonna shoot these white girls in these clothes, we're gonna do this, do that. You know, so like I definitely want somebody that has some type of aspiration, like just as like Toro said, to where like I can seed into them, because I have to be able to seed into my significant other, man. I don't know like what that would be, whether it be work wise, whether it be career wise, whether it be aspiration, dream wise, like whatever it is. But both of us have to be driving towards something. We don't have to be in the same car, you know what I'm saying? But I want to be able to, you know what I'm saying, like help you on your road, and you can be a balance for me, like on my road, or just help me as well. Yeah. So definitely.
Also, I think that goes with anything too, as well. Like me personally, I want my future wife to be like God fearing too as well. So, but it just doesn't have to be on the platform of like work wise.
Yeah,
it could be on the platform for like anything that you do. It's not just one specific thing. So like, look, we're going to be the greatest Christians in the world. Boom, we're going to church and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just different things like that. So,
pretty much for me, man. Like, yeah, like how I kind of definitely want to tap into what you were just saying. Like. Everything needs to be pretty much 150% energy and just going towards it, and it's basically putting all your effort in. Because it's like, if we're just half-assing shit, then like, why am I with you? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why are we even pretty much doing anything? Because like, I'm pretty much trying to be, with you pretty much for the rest of my life. So I know for sure that, like, we have to pretty much put in that value as much as possible. So, all right. Kind of towards the end of this podcast here. So I would love to know each and every one of you guys is just something that you guys are working on. What's next for you guys? It can be little, it can be pretty much big, but I definitely want to know like what's next in your guys' like careers, what's next in your guys' journey as being an entrepreneur, just anything. Starting with you, Toro.
Always come to me. Biggest thing for me with my brand and everything else, just growth. Just looking to see my brand grow, mature, and basically just take off when the time is right. Basically, that's the biggest thing.
Jay,
I think. The next big thing for me is, still working, living in Atlanta, and definitely got a big things coming up as far as space wise coming up. So definitely, you guys stay tuned for that. ATLA Entertainment Studios. Shouts out to them out there, and I don't know, man. I mean. Working on the PhD, and that's about it. And
congratulations on that.
Nice.
And
that's big, man. Don't be shy over that shit.
I mean,
what do you
let them know.
I'm about to. Well, I just sent off 3 applications, so and hopefully I get in, and I was just saying, I'm just the thought of all those papers, but But I was just thinking about it because, my greatest goal is to actually teach and uplift, other young black men in this society that we call America, and building my craft and my portfolio, and going the commercial route, and that's about it. And shout outs to you though. I see what you're trying to do in Miami, and
thank you, man,
and shifting the culture here in Miami, and making sure that people and voices are heard.
Yes, that's the main goal.
And I like that. That's great, because when I was living here, it wasn't like that at all. So there was nothing else out there. So I appreciate what you're doing as far as either the podcast and Marvel Bishop, the brand itself, and just from me knowing you and you growing from then, it's great. So that's about it. And I just want everybody to win. Pretty much.
Dino?
I don't know. Like I said, this year coming up, I definitely want to be able to live outside of my comfort level, and not be afraid of the potential loudness of my microphone. Because I don't know if you guys have experiences. I'm I know for myself, after a little while, when I first started with my photography. Things took off quickly, and there's a little bit of although like I'm a very social person and things of that sort, like there's a certain attention that you kind of get, especially with like how social media is now, where it's this attention that I never thought that I would have to get adjusted to because I'm such a people person.
Yeah.
So like there was, and I'll be honest with you guys, like there was like a point to where things started to get so bright, so loud, so fast, where I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
definitely.
I want to slow down. Like this is, like I think like I'm having a lot more people that I don't know kind of pull up on me. I'm like, oh, okay, like this world, like is a little bit different to be able to like pull up, and like people know who you are prior to them, like prior to you knowing like who they are. I don't know.
Especially with that Miami attitude, huh?
Hey,
what's up? What you want? What you doing?
It ain't even like on that level, but just in general, you know what I'm saying? And just realizing, because sometimes like I'll turn on my mic and like if I turn it on, it goes hot. You know what I'm saying? Like and it flies. So like there was like a little bit of adjustment with that, and I had like a lot of personal things that I've been dealing with like for the past couple years. So working through those issues, and being able to grow with that, and then taking myself to the next level of whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? And like keep pushing, and get my ass up and just go. Like I've gotten like a like bad habit. Well, maybe not a habit, maybe just a moment more so like where I've been a little bit more of a recluse versus what I know I can't be, So like 19 is going to be one of those years where I want to push past that, and work out some of those personal joints that are working like themselves out with time and keep things like within perspective, for sure.
For me, for 2019, one of my main things I'm looking forward to is definitely taking my health to the next level.
Amen.
And stop bullshitting, honestly.
That's what it's about.
And for 2018, I definitely had like a start, stop, like kind of like false starts or whatever with my health. And, I am not, and just to be transparent, I'm not the healthiest person in the world. I have type 2 diabetes, you know what I'm saying? I have a couple other things that's pretty much, that has complications. And
Bro, I got high blood pressure.
Well, yeah,
so,
thank God I don't have that. So I can only imagine for you.
and I'm like skinny, bro.
Yeah. So, and especially too, like one of my like really, really good friends and mentors, Lavelle, rest in peace to him, that just really just woke me up to a level. It's like, yo, you know what? Like stop BSing, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're already, as Black people, are already at a fucking disadvantage as it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we have to I have to take that to my own hands basically and just, just take it to pretty much to a next level, because everything that I'm trying to do for 2019, for the Lab podcast series, for the No Way But Up podcast, for my personal brand, I'm doing brand ambassadoring. I'm working with different companies, Bishop Executive Services, Bishop Premier Services. Pretty much the list goes on. I need to be at a different level and a different energy for me to execute everything. And for me to pretty much execute those, I have to pretty much look at myself and go, listen, you need to take care of yourself first, because I can't be on a level or trying to get to a level where people are looking at me for advice and me looking for a motivation when I ain't fucking right.
Yeah.
Like for real, like I'm keeping it all the way buck. Like
lead by example.
Yes. So that's what I've been really working on for the past couple of months, honestly. And just be a leader of men, be a leader of people, be a leader of, just men and women that pretty much come to me, I have to be right. So that's pretty much what I'm looking forward to. Man, this has been amazing, man.
2019, like,
yes, sir.
I remember when it was just like 99 going into 2000.
Y2K and all that shit, man.
Exactly.
Now
it's 2020.
Now it's
if you
understand that, like literally 360, 9 days from now, or 368 days, or no, well, what I'm saying is 368 days is going to be 2020.
Right.
So it's like, yo, by the time we know it, 2019 is about to be gone.
Yeah,
bro.
So we got shit we got to do.
We're going to be old as fuck, bro. I'm gonna be fucking 35.
All right, guys,
bro.
listen. We about to hit the hour mark, but before
31.
then, I definitely want to thank each and every one of you for coming to my humble home and just talking about very important things and just coming on the platform, man. And I really hope this definitely helps out everyone. And thanks for
all the creatives out there. I will say this.
Talk about
There's
it, King.
nothing to it but to do it.
Yes, sir.
If for anybody out there who has an idea in their head, I want to do a podcast, I want to be a Instagram social commentator, I want to be a photographer, I want to be this. There's nothing to it but to do it. If you feel like you want to be that next person, that next influencer, think about it this way. The top influencers and the top people that make money in this world made money based off the device that you carry in your hand, and it's called an iPhone or an Android. You have the tools to make it to succeed.
Exactly.
And if you have an idea, just do it. FWTT. Fuck what they think and do what you need to do to make it in this world. That's all I'm going to say. And I don't want to keep on. But FWTT, fuck what they think.
Yes, sir.
And make your life happen the way that you want to happen.
Go ahead and brand that real
Yes,
quick.
sir.
All right.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate y'all.
Thank you, man.
All right.